Good morning, greetings, friends, and welcome to The Bright Side, your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of the vast world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. I'm your host, Pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado. I use nutritional supplements where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and sometimes deadly medical procedures. If you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to vitality and health and well-being and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin, you have come to the right place. As you listen to The Bright Side every day, you are more and more in control of your body. You are more and more knowledgeable, and you know you can overcome any health challenge. That's why we are here every day on The Bright Side, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 32 years of practicing pharmacy, I have seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes, hypertension, obesity, skin diseases like psoriasis, eczema, rosacea, acne, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds. Recoveries that by the standards of modern medicine can only be called a miracle. But what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedure. Because the human biological system is a healing system, it's a regenerating system. It is designed divinely to heal and renew itself on a moment-to-moment basis, and while some folks may call that healing, renewing, regenerating system a miracle, it really is just the way the body works. If you have questions about health, nutrition, prescription drugs, if you want to wean yourself off your meds and get on a good nutritional supplement program, if you have a success story you'd like to share, if you want to contribute to the conversation, 844-236-6010 is our number. If you have questions about the longevity products or the longevity business, our number 844-236-6010, we can help you. If you have, if you'd like to purchase any of the longevity products you hear advertised on The Bright Side, go to brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. You can also call 866-735-2470, 866-735-2470 for more information. For a one-time $25 fee, you can sign up to join the Bright Side Ben team if you want to start a longevity business. Earn thank you checks associated with having your own business, help spread the word about the power and importance of a good nutritional supplement program, or if you just want to get your products at the wholesale price for a one-time $25 fee, you can be in business for yourself and make your own hours, right off your home office, right off your rent, right off your mileage. It's really the entrepreneur lifestyle. It might not be for everybody, but if you're the type of person that enjoys being your own boss and feels like you can navigate the ups and downs, the inevitable ups and downs of being an entrepreneur, you definitely want to check out this business opportunity. Call 866-735-2470 for more information, or click on the Join the Team link at brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. Okay, so we are talking detox. Not in terms of detox formulas. There's all these detox formulas that are available, and the internet is filled with detox recipes and YouTube detox strategies. And I get emails every day on various detox formulations, or mostly they're herbal detox formulations. Sometimes you'll see nutrients in there. But we don't really, most of us anyway, don't really understand what detox is about. We've said there's two steps in the detox process, step 1 and step 2. The body is exquisitely capable of detoxifying all kinds of stuff, as long as it's not overloaded, as long as it's not overburdened. The detox system is housed in the liver, and the more stress your liver is under from digestive issues, from blood sugar issues, from toxicity issues, the less functional your detoxification system is going to be. That's why understanding how to support your body's detoxification system is the most important detox strategy, and it also begins with reducing the load. It begins with reducing the toxins that get into the body, mostly voluntary. You're not going to be able to stop the toxins that are coming in through the air. You're not going to be able to stop the toxins that you're drinking. You could drink distilled water or clear water, but there's water in everything we eat pretty much. And you're not going to be able to avoid toxicity of certain types of toxicity. But there is toxicity you can avoid, and that's the toxicity we voluntarily indulge in. Food is the most important place. That's why I'm always backtracking to food. Once toxicity gets into the system through foods that we're eating, you're off to the disease races. And that's why I always backtrack to the digestive system. Digestive system is the key player in the development or the initiation of disease. That's the reason you backtrack to digestion, not because you have to be a foodie or you have to, follow the trends of eating trends, like eating fashions. Eating organic is great, of course, but it's become kind of a fad and a fashion. Yeah, it's not the fad and fashion aspect, it's the option aspect. That is, if you're sick, this represents an option that you can use to heal. They call it an alternative option. It's not an alternative option. It should be your first option. Drugs should be your alternative option, and they should be way down the list. They represent another toxin. You're already sick from toxins, and now we put toxins in. A second place we put toxins in voluntarily through prescription medicine. Make no mistake about it. Prescription drugs are toxins, like food toxins. So if once you got a toxed out system, if you think you're going to get better by taking more toxins, think again. It doesn't make any sense. Only a proponent of the medical model thinks this makes sense. A normal, intelligent human being cannot possibly think it's logical to put toxins into an already toxed out system and expect to get better from it. Just doesn't make any sense. Now, there's also nutrients you can use to support detoxification. And I much prefer you use the use of nutrients to support detox than herbs. I like herbs. I like herbal medicine. I've been wildcrafting my own herbs and making my own herbal tinctures for decades. I'm a big believer in herbal medicine, but it's medicine. That means the body has to purify itself of the stuff. Perhaps they're not as toxic as drugs, but nonetheless, it's an added burden to an already burdened body. On the other hand, nutrients support the body. They don't have to be detoxified. And there's lots of great ones. Sulfur, one of the epic, absolutely incredibly important detox elements. And many of us are undersulfurated, or we don't get enough sulfur. I don't know if that's the right word, but we don't get enough sulfur, because it's supposed to be in the soils, and we all know about the soils. Thus, the importance of using your Beyond Tangy Tangerine, which is a source of MSM sulfur. MSM is the way you want to get your sulfur in a supplemental form. Sulfur in foods is also great. Stinky foods, selenium and onions, and they're great detox foods. Cruciferous vegetables, probably the king of detox foods. I know I say it all the time. I'll say it again. You want to do cruciferous vegetables every day. Broccoli, Brussels sprouts, bok choy, cauliflower, cabbage, as much as you can, especially if you're a woman going through estrogenic issues, because estrogen is one of the main toxins that has to be detoxified by the body, and broccoli and Brussels sprouts and the cruciferous vegetables are powerfully anti-estrogen metabolite. I don't want to say estrogen, it's the breakdown products of estrogen. And because of the way the cruciferous vegetables support detoxification, they can help clear out excess estrogen. And then there's glucuronidation. We talked about glucuronate. I know it's hard to say, but it's important to understand. Your body makes the stuff. But if you're dealing with health challenges, especially estrogen health challenges, endometriosis comes to mind, but also fibromyalgia, even depression can be an estrogenic issue, hypothyroidism. You might want to upregulate your glucuronidation with, in addition to cruciferous vegetables, by the way, which are a great source of glucuronate. Citrus is a good source, but you can also take calcium D-glucarate. That's an excellent and underappreciated supplement for supporting glucuronidation, calcium D-glucarate. Glucuronate, I've said this before, I'll say it again, is very similar to the vitamin C molecule. And vitamin C is maybe the ultimate iconic superstar, maybe the most important of all the detox substances, plain old vitamin C, which is comes from, I should say, glucuronate. Glucuronate is a precursor to vitamin C. Glucuronate is turned into vitamin C by almost all animals. Almost all animals will turn glucuronate into their own vitamin C, and vitamin C is not even, it's so important, the body can't wait. Most animal bodies can't wait for vitamin C to come from the diet. So they'll make it their own. Billy goats, squirrels, donkeys, dolphins, dogs, cats, birds, they all make their own vitamin C. Human beings and a few other species of animal, mostly primates and the fruit bat and guinea pigs. For some reason, I don't know why guinea pigs, but the other animals, the primates and the fruit bat and the human being indulge in fruits. And that's where it's thought, anyway, we lost our ability to make vitamin C. The body was getting so much of it from fruits. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. 844-236-6010 is our number. We'll be back after this. Back on The Bright Side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number, and we have lines open for you. 844-236-6010. If you want to purchase any of the longevity products, or even better, join the Bright Side Ben team, please call 866-735-2470. That's 866-735-2470 for more information. And if you'd like to check out our Truth Skin Health products, including our new Biomimetic Mineral Mist, as well as our Retinol 1% Gel, both of those are new products, and we also have a couple cleansers coming out here in maybe a week or so. Peppermint Salicylic Cleanser and a honey hyaluronic acid cleanser for normal skin. And Peppermint Sal is more for acne-prone skin or maybe aging skin. Both the new products, both the new cleansers will be up at truthtreatments.com, as well as you'll find all our Truth Treatment products there, including our Truth Retinol 5% Gel if you want a big old dose of retinol. Our Truth Transdermal C Serum, Truth Transdermal C Balm, and our Truth Omega-6 Healing Cream, all up at truthtreatments.com. Truthtreatments.com. So, glucuronidation, vitamin C, glucuronate is a very important detox molecule. It's an amazing supplement, calcium D-glucarate, one that we don't talk about a lot. Glucuronidation, glucuronate is also very important for the cardiovascular system. Turns out that glucuronic acid, I know it's hard to say, but it's well worth learning about this stuff. Glucuronic acid is very similar to glucosamine, and it's got similar benefits to glucosamine. Like glucosamine, it plays a very important role when it comes to connective tissue. Number one, both glucosamine and glucuronic acid are stimulators of connective tissue. They help turn on connective tissue building. And they're also incorporated into connective tissue. They're components of connective tissue. Both glucuronate and glucuronic acid are of a class of substances that gets put into the connective tissue to strengthen it. This is very important for arthritis sufferers, for folks dealing with post-surgical recovery. It's important for athletes. It's important for anti-aging. It's also important for cardiovascular function if you're dealing with heart disease. Heart disease is the leading killer in this country and around the world, and we've completely missed the boat on how you deal with it. Completely. From a medical model perspective. This is why no matter how many stents and cholesterol reducing drugs, and I mean, look, it is hidden in plain sight, people. Statin mania put a dent in the incidences of heart disease, even if it may have slightly, I don't even know if you could say that, slightly improved or reduced the risks of heart attacks that people already have cardiovascular disease, but it's done nothing to prevent it. If this ridiculous cholesterol hypothesis was true, if taking care of your cholesterol was really a strategy, we would have seen a change in the numbers of people who are dealing with heart disease. We haven't. It's because it's nonsense. Absolute idiocy, biochemical idiocy, this cholesterol hypothesis. On the other hand, heart disease has everything to do with the deterioration of connective tissue. Heart disease is arthritis of the heart. I call it hearthritis. It's the same thing. When the connective tissue deteriorates in the blood vessels, the body will use calcium and cholesterol and various sticky substances to strengthen the area. Cholesterol is a Band-Aid. So obviously, if you got heart disease, you're going to have cholesterol plaques. That's true. But that doesn't mean that stopping your body from making the Band-Aid is the solution. The solution is to strengthen the connective tissue. That's the solution from a physical point of view. That's a solution to a lot of disease, if not all. A lot of disease, if not all. And that includes aging, which is not a disease, but it's bodily deterioration. When our bodies deteriorate, which is what happens when we're sick, our bodies are degenerating. It's right there in the word, degenerative disease. When our bodies are degenerating, it's usually The connective tissue. It's the connective tissue portion, or the connective tissue muscle tissue matrix, that makes up about 80% of our bodies. Have you ever seen the bodies exhibit at the museums? The stuff underneath our skin, that's what they show you, is the bulk of the body. It's the robot. It's the connective tissue muscle tissue complex, and this is the part that shrivels up when we get sick. And why should the heart be any different? It's the same with the heart. It's the same with the joints. It's the same with the internal viscera. It's the same with everything. It's the same with even chemical issues, because the connective tissue feeds the chemistry, feeds the cells from a chemical perspective. It nourishes the connective tissue is what nourishes the cells. The connective tissue is what electrifies the cells. The connective tissue, or the connective tissue muscle tissue complex, is what electrifies the cells and detoxifies the cells. So building your connective tissue is how you deal with preventing or reversing degenerative diseases of all kinds, and that includes heart disease. And that's why glucosamine is such an amazing supplement for almost everything, not just the heart, or I'm sorry, not just the joints, which everybody knows about, but also the heart and the blood vessels, the circulatory system, and the internal organs. And that's also true about glucuronic acid, which from an organic chemistry perspective is very similar to glucosamine. So you get the same benefits from glucuronic acid you do from glucosamine. Oh yeah, that means eating your broccoli can help your heart. Oh yeah, that means eating your broccoli can help your wrinkles. Oh yeah, that means eating your broccoli can help patch up your gut if you have leaky gut syndrome, because leaky gut syndrome, which is almost always involved in the degenerative disease process, is a connective tissue problem. It's the connective tissue that becomes leaky. So, health can be kind of complicated. Obviously, there's all kinds of things that can happen. But under the rule of keep it simple, KISS, keep it simple. Go back to the connective tissue. Work on your connective tissue. And it's not just food, by the way. It's not just eating. Also, I should tell you, sugar destroys connective tissue. That's one of the main problems with sugar that nobody talks about. Is that it's a primary deteriorator of the connective tissue, whether it's in the blood vessels, or whether it's in the joints, or whether it's in the digestive system, or whether it's in your skin. Cigarette smoke, likewise, is a primary deteriorator of connective tissue. Of all the voluntary ways we destroy our body, that's one of the craziest. And I'm not beating up on anybody who smokes, because I used to smoke, and it's tough to quit. And a lot of people who smoke don't enjoy it. They're just addicted, and I can completely relate. But the fact of the matter is, if you really look at it take a bird's eye view and disassociate the addiction, the fact that we're hooked on this stuff, it's pretty crazy that we do that to ourselves. So strengthening the connective tissue from the negative perspective, avoiding sugar, avoiding smoking, avoiding drugs, which can also deteriorate the connective tissue. From a positive perspective, use glucosamine, use glucuronic acid, use hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid also, remember, glucuronic acid is a building block of hyaluronic acid. So you'll find glucuronic acid in the joints as a part of the hyaluronic acid molecule. So they're all in the joints. This is all for a substance, by the way, that's a detox substance. How cool is that? Glucuronic acid has an extra benefit in that it's important for detoxification, especially detoxification of toxic estrogen. Glucuronidation is very important for helping the body dump out bile. And if you've listened to this program for any length of time, you know that when it comes to detox, there is nothing more important. Maybe there's stuff as important, but nothing more important than working on a healthy bile system. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. We'll be back on the bright side right after this. Back on the bright side. I am Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. We'll get your calls here momentarily. We have lines open for you at 844-236-6010. If you have any questions about anything we're speaking about here today, or comment or success story you'd like to share, if you have a question about our Truth Skin Health products, or comment or success story about our Truth Skin Health products, I know they're out there. I get all kinds of letters. You can find out all about our Truth Treatment products at truthtreatments.com. Also have some nutritional supplements coming out here probably in the next few weeks. one in particular, a connective tissue building supplement for preventing wrinkles or reversing wrinkles. As far as topical products go for reversing wrinkles, retinol and vitamin C are your go-to active ingredients, and that's what we use in our Truth Treatments. They're all up at truthtreatments.com, truthtreatments.com. All right, we will continue talking glucuronidation. Actually, we'll finish talking about we'll continue talking about glucuronidation. I want to tell you about a really cool way to get some glucuronic acid into your system that's very tasty and is quite the fad these days. Although they don't really talk about glucuronidation or glucuronate in this latest fad substance that lots of people seem to be indulging in. We'll talk about that tomorrow. On the bright side, get to a couple stories here, and then we'll get your calls at 844-236-6010, and we have lines open for you. All right, speaking of the heart, this is from EuroCare 2018, the European Society for Cardiology's annual nursing congress. Loneliness is bad for the heart and a strong predictor of premature death. How do you like that? A study that found that feeling lonely was a stronger predictor of poor outcomes than living alone. The feeling lonely was a stronger predictor of poor outcomes than just living alone in both men and women. In other words, if you're living alone, that doesn't necessarily mean you're lonely, but feeling lonely is a strong predictor of heart disease or of premature death. Loneliness is more common than ever today than ever before, and more people live alone, said Anne Vingard Christensen, author of the study. Previous research has shown that loneliness and social isolation are linked to coronary heart disease and stroke. And let's see here, feeling lonely it was associated with poor outcomes in all patients, regardless of their type of heart disease. I think this is important because we're guilty, I'm guilty, and a lot of health programs are guilty of just talking about the nutrition or just talking about the food and not emphasizing or not at least not discussing or pointing out that mental and emotional strategies are just as important as the physical strategies, if not more important, when it comes to taking care of our health. I'm all about chemistry and nutrition and diet and exercise and all the lifestyle things we talk about in this program, but you cannot underestimate the mental and the emotional, and for that matter, the spiritual components or dimensions of health and wellness. They're all important. You have to be healthy on all those levels. You have to work on health, which means wholeness on all those levels. Physical health, physical wholeness means when you have the proper amount of nutrition, the proper amount of oxygen, not enough detoxification incorporated into the body. So it's kind of a wholeness. The wholeness of the nutrients with the body, the wholeness of oxygen with the body, health, wholeness. But there's also a wholeness that has to take place mentally and spiritually. We have to feel connected. If they take a bee away from the hive, that bee doesn't live very long. Likewise, if they take a human being away from fellow human beings, that human being's health suffers, and they suffer premature death as well. This should come as no surprise. And also, the fact that we live with lots of people, but we still feel lonely, should also come as no surprise. There's a phenomenon called the lonely crowd. It was actually a title of a book from the 1960s, I think, The Lonely Crowd. It talked about how we have these crowded cities and the individuals in the cities are lonely, which seems ironic, but that's just that's the kind of culture we've created. So you got to work on you have to work on the emotional, spiritual aspects. And by the way, the emotional, and mental, and spiritual aspects link into the body through the hormones. So if you think that spiritual, mental, and emotional are kind of airy-fairy and hippy-dippy, they're not. They're hormone. They connect to the body via the hormones. They achieve their action hormonally. The hormone system, via, by the way, something called the vagus nerve, is the link between this so-called airy-fairy invisible world and the physical world. The invisible world becomes the physical world at the level of the hormones. That's what the hormones do. The hormones turn the invisible world of thoughts and feelings and spirituality, not to mention things like sugar and diet and food. Actually, food and thoughts / feelings are the main activators of the hormone system. So if you think the whole food thing is overblown and not scientific, just via the hormones, you have your link between how food turns into the body via the hormone system. The hormone system is the link between how we live our lives and how our bodies show up. Whether we're talking eating, whether we're talking oxygen, whether we're talking mental, emotional, or spiritual, it all comes in through the hormone system. Speaking of spiritual, from the journal Cerebral Cortex, where the brain processes spiritual experiences. Interesting. Scientists have identified a possible neurobiological home for the spiritual experience. They found in the brain were spiritual experiences. And by the way, they're using this to help people deal with mental health and addictive disorders. Spiritual experiences are robust states that may have profound impacts on people's lives, said Mark Potenza, professor of psychiatry at the Yale Child Study Center. Quote, understanding the neural basis of spiritual experiences may help us better understand their roles in resilience and recovery from mental health and addictive disorders, unquote. That's Yale University talking about spiritual experiences. Apparently, spiritual experiences are registered in a part of the brain called the parietal cortex, which is sort of in the back and the side of the brain. They've known about the parietal cortex as a source of spiritual experiences for a long time. There's a device called the God helmet, which is some strange apparatus that was invented by a guy in Canada named Michael Persinger. Actually, a guy named Canada named Stanley Coren. Michael Persinger helped study it at I think one of the universities in Canada. I forgot which one. And the God helmet activates a part of the brain that's not quite the parietal complex. It's the parietal lobe. It's the temporal lobe, which is a little bit different. And this God helmet has been shown to activate mystical spirit experiences and altered states. Now, I'm not sure if that's the way you want to get your spiritual experiences. Nonetheless, it shows that all of this stuff that we consider to be airy-fairy and kind of abstract and not relevant to our physical lives, like spirituality, like thoughts, like emotions, are really scientifically linked to how our body shows up, for better or worse. SMEP, spiritual, mental, emotional, physical. Those are the 4 dimensions of health, and all need to be addressed. All right, 844-236-6010 is our number. Let's go to California and say good morning to Kevin. What's up, Kevin? How you doing?
Hey, Ben. How are you?
I'm all right. What's going on, man? Where in California are you, first of all? Are you up north? Or?
I'm in Los Angeles, LA.
Oh, you're in LA. Okay, good deal. What's going on today?
Well, my daughter, she's been, I think, diagnosed with celiac. That's what her pediatrician is saying.
Okay.
Because we tested her, and she's had low iron for the last 3 months. It's just
okay.
Down and
is she
down.
bloated? Does she have diarrhea? Digestive?
She's bloated.
All right, hang on. We got to take a break, Kevin, but this is important. Don't go away. We'll finish up, okay, when we come back from our break. I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. Got lines open for you. We'll be back after this. Okay, we are back on the bright side. 844-236-6010 is our number. We're talking to Kevin in California. Excuse me, Kevin's child has celiac disease. You there, Kevin?
Yeah, I'm here.
How old's your baby?
She's 5.
Okay.
We've been giving her gluten a lot. She's had a lot of gluten our whole life, and
did you not know? Did you not hear? Had you not heard about gluten?
Well, I'm sorry.
I'm saying, did you not know about the whole thing with gluten? Is it? I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm just.
No, a friend of hers is gluten free. Her mom, but she's had low iron the last 3 months, and we've been trying to figure out why the numbers aren't going up, and we've been supplementing with Floradex, and still they're not going up. Her white blood cells are fine. So
is she good? How's her energy levels? That's
the thing. She's really tired a lot at school, and so she's not. So her pediatrician diagnosed her with celiac.
How did he diagnose her?
She did because she looked at her numbers. She said her celiac numbers were like 120.
Okay. So just get her off the gluten. I mean, it's a gluten intolerance disease, but it's more than just gluten. You just got to do a whole digestive thing with her. Do the whole digestive thing with her. Don't just focus on the gluten, although that's likely a problem, but it could be a lot of things. So focus on foods. If she's bloated and she has diarrhea or she's uncomfortable in any way after she eats foods, those are red flags. Just focus on that.
Yeah, she's very she complains of tummy pains and
there you go.
She's a bit bloated. So my question is, we're going to see a GI, but we're still waiting for the appointment.
Why do you think you need to see a GI and all these doctors? I mean, you can. That's great. But why are you – it sounds like you're taking the attention away from where it should be, which is on how you're handling your baby, and just putting it on the doctor. I mean, you're responsible for dealing with your baby. You're going to the doctor, but these are things you should be doing in the home.
Right. Yeah, we've cut off the gluten, but should we cut off the gluten completely until she's actually diagnosed?
No, listen. This is what I'm trying to get you to see here, because I don't understand. Why are you counting on the doctor to tell you what to do, and then not doing anything till the doctor gives it the okay? You should be handling your business at home. And I'm not trying to come down on you here, but I'm just saying it doesn't make sense to me that you would wait to do things for the doctor's blessing or to see what the doctor says when you're the most obvious and easiest way to tell what's going on in her body is right in your living room or kitchen when she's sitting, or in dining room and kitchen, I should say, and bathroom. Between the dining room, the kitchen, and the bathroom, that's where you need to be focusing. How she's handling how she's bowel movements, how she's handling her whole digestive stuff in terms of elimination, how she's handling her digestive stuff in terms of processing, also the kind of food she craves and she's looking for, or her energy levels after she eats certain foods. I'm not a big believer in these tests. The iron tests, for example, we don't know if she's low or high. We just know she's low or high compared to this reference range, the normal values. Right. We don't know what that means, normal values. We just know she's tired. Maybe she's tired after she eats certain foods. So my point is, you should be focusing on these things at home, like how she feels after she eats certain foods, most importantly, and how her digestive system works after she eats certain foods. Is she bloated? Is she gassy? Is she diarrhea? Is she complaining? You've said all these. I mean, you diagnosed her yourself. You're seeing all these things.
I had no idea before.
There you go. That's why we're here, my friend. Good deal. So now you know. So what you want to do is a food diary. Do a food diary for her.
Okay.
Okay. That's where you get a little notebook and everything she eats, write down in the book. Everything. It should be easy with a 5-year-old. You just write down what she eats and then write down how she feels after those foods. You're going to be blown away by what you find out. Okay. And that's your doctoring right there. I mean, the only thing a doctor is going to do if it's a good doctor is exactly what I told you, and if it's a lousy doctor, they'll give her drugs. If it's a good doctor, they'll say exactly what I just told you. Okay?
Right. Okay?
And it wouldn't hurt her if she'll eat veggies. It wouldn't hurt her to do fermented veggies, even fermented beets. Fermented.
Is there any supplements or just diet you
probiotics? But you know what? The problem's in food. 5-year-olds, you can give her a little Beyond Tangy Tangerine. I just feel 5-year-olds shouldn't necessarily need supplements, but if you're going to supplement, do the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. But the most important, and probiotics also. But the most important thing, though, is the elimination of problem foods. Okay?
Okay.
All right. And dairy is always a big culprit, by the way. Dairy and beans.
Okay, so no dairy or
watch what happens. Watch what happens to her after she does her dairy. But if you really want to, you don't want to take any chances, it wouldn't hurt her to go no dairy. But watch what happens so you can see for yourself. Just start to notice stuff. You're going to be amazed by what you find out.
All right.
Thanks for your call, Kevin. Appreciate it, man. Take care. All right, let's go to Carol in South Carolina. Good morning, Carol. Welcome to the Bright Side. What's up?
Hey, Ben. How are you?
I'm good. What's going on?
I'm good. I'm really. I talked to you before.
Okay.
But I consider myself in good health.
Okay.
I would say really great health. I'm 61.
All right.
I don't take any medication. I take a lot of supplements. I do the BTT.
Okay.
I exercise.
Good. You sound great.
I'm at a good weight.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, everything is right.
Okay. So what's up? What's the problem?
My only thing is this.
Yeah.
I was just telling my daughter just yesterday. I said, "Gee, I was a little concerned. You know the Garmins that you wear, the Fitbit."
I've heard of them. I don't know a lot about them. I got to tell you, but I know what you're talking about. Yes.
Okay, well, it tells you your heart rate, how many calories you're burning, and I don't think it's 100%, but it's got to be within range because this is my question.
Yeah.
My resting heart rate sometimes goes to like high 40s. When
high
I wake
40s?
up during the night,
wait a minute, are you sure? The high 40s? That's like an athlete.
50s.
That's pretty darn good. Good for you.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, I mean, a lower heart rate when you're resting means that your heart's working more efficiently, more bang for your buck. So an athlete's going to be in the 40s. A high-powered athlete is going to be like 40 beats per minute.
I'm telling you, yeah. It goes. Sometimes it goes to like 4. I wake up, like during the night, I drink a lot. I always keep a bottle of water by my bedside.
Yeah.
So if I wake up, I want to make sure that I'm hydrated. So I drink. So I get up at least once during the night to go to the bathroom. So when I get up, I check my wrist. And I just look at it out of curiosity to see what time it is.
Now, if you're not working out, you're not an athlete, and your heartbeat's low, that's not necessarily a good thing. So if you're in good health and you're like exercising and doing all the right things, and you got a good low heart rate, that means your heart's working more efficiently. If you're not an athlete and you're not working out, and your heart is not beating is beating at 40 beats per minute or 45 or 50 beats per minute, that can be a condition called bradycardia, slow heartbeat, and that can be a big problem. But it doesn't sound like you have any other health issues. You said you're healthy, you're working out, and all that stuff.
Yeah, I don't get palpitations. I mean, I don't have chest pain. I do my deep breathing.
If you were frail and you were older and frail and weak and you had that low heart rate, I would say there's a problem. But if you're healthy and strong and you're exercising and all that stuff, that could be a good thing. That means your heart's more operating more effectively, more efficiently.
Yeah, but I'm not an athlete. I would.
You work out.
Never say that.
Are you working out?
I do. My son's a yoga instructor. So he gave me the bands, to work out, those big elastics.
Okay, but you feel strong, you're not fatigued after you work out, you're not, if your heart was nice, if you were dealing with bradycardia, like a really slow heart rate, that's like pathological, I would say, and you're symptomatic, I would say you had a problem there, but you're not symptomatic, right? You feel good. And you're exercising.
I feel good.
I wouldn't worry about that at all. I wouldn't worry about that. That's actually a good thing.
As a matter of fact, I'm just going to say this quickly. Last week I only see a doctor just for a blood test. All the blood tests once a year. I don't go for physicals. I don't do anything else. I don't do colonoscopies. I don't do anything because I feel I'm in good health.
Okay, well, good. So what did the doctor say what did the doctor say? Said you're doing good?
She says, your blood test is optimum. Don't even worry about it.
That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't worry about it at all. It sounds like you're doing really good. If you were frail or weak or, you're symptomatic in some way, you were tired after you took a walk or any of that kind of stuff, I would say you had a problem. But it sounds like you're doing great. Keep up the good work, Carol.
Oh, all right. Well, I just figured I'd ask you because I think you know more than my doctor.
Well, that's not – well, all right. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
I think you're awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you for everything you do.
Thank you, Carol. Have a great day in South Carolina. Good to talk to you. All right. That's all the time we have for today on The Bright Side. Please check out our websites, brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com for all the longevity products, and also – TruthTreatments.com for Truth Skin Health products. TruthTreatments.com. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Thanks for listening to The Bright Side. Have yourselves a wonderful, beautiful, awesome, spectacular day. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye for now.